Welcome back, Slayers, to another slaying loot farm video. And this week, we have some pretty juicy reactor farms. But first, let's get into the external components. Alrighty, over in the Mirage Stone, we have sensor dropping this week. Two of your best things to do, with one being just doing the outpost, turn it into a Valby outpost. Or maybe you still have to get these patterns with Sharon. Nonetheless, you'll be getting your sensor in this area. And the next thing I could think of would be probably this, either the commanding ground. Yeah, it'd be the commanding ground, because you have a barrier deactivation. This would be your best in slot mission here, as well to get the material in this area. Now typically on your sensor, max MP with consumable or character XP. Now for processor of the week, for the battlefield mission frontline base, which would be an extermination mission. This would be your best mission in this area. Or go on and turn this outpost into a Valby outpost. Maybe you need some of these patterns here with Sharon. Nonetheless, processor in the lumberyard of Vespers. Typically for farming on the processor, equipment drop rate, as well as item acquisition distance. And then this week over in the Misty Wood, we have electric general rounds on singular. Bunny mains, now's the time. We have the battlefield mission Hazy Swamp. You guys know this one. This one is very efficient. A lot of mobs to kill. Quick clear. Now's the time to get that good reactor you've been looking for your bunny. Now regarding the reactor roll, typically some like crit damage, as well as that electric or singular boost should do you well. Alrighty, this week for Toxic, General Rounds Tech Reactor, over in the Aurora Force. Not the best mission by far, but it does take us to the fortress. Best mission here will be the Snowy Heights. Now, because this is a General Rounds Tech Reactor, you'll probably be looking for something like an Enduring Legacy, Albion Cavalry Gun for your Freyna boss build. So in that case, crit damage as well as damage to Colossus. Now, over in Vespers, in the Ruins area, we're getting non-attribute general rounds on Dimension. So if you still need that clean Python roll for your Gley, now's the week to do so. Maybe you want Thunder Cage for Valby. Typically for Gley's reactor, you would go with cooldown, as well as damage to Colossus, and you'll be good. Now, Valby varies. It's really based on how you want to build your Valby. Are you mobbing with her? Are you doing bossing? Or are you doing gluttony specifically? All that will kind of determine that, but typically I go with something like cooldown and skill crit damage as I do mobbing with her. But if you just want one in general, this is on a fusion roll, but it is on general rounds, so still get the 160 boost. You can actually head over here to the Kingston surveillance radar, as this is just a quick clear, just to get a fire reactor you can use this week in the meantime. You guys should know this mission, very easy clear. We did have a nice bunny reactor farm here the other week, and then just last week there was a good frozen reactor here as well. Now we do have a Hailey Reactor this week as well. Over in the Muskeg Swamp, we're getting Chill Reactor on Special Rounds Singular. Now your best mission will be the battlefield mission, the Tree of Truth. As now that one goes, start the objectives, mob out. Abort, rinse and repeat. Now I include this as a Hailey Reactor as, you know, people like to run actually the Gregs now and do like a full, I guess, crit type of build with it. You'll stack on weak point and all of that. Pretty much how you build out your Gregs, but you're on Hailey with it to get the extra weak point damage when you're, you know, meeting those distance metrics outside of that 50 meter, around that 50 meter range. So that is up for grabs this week. If you're looking to do that, now's the week to do so. Not the best mission, but it gets the job done. Typically on Reactor, maybe crit damage, damage to Colossus still. Maybe even cooldown depending on how you want to build out your build. To no surprise, this made the list. Repository Chill, Frozen, Tech Reactor on Impact Round. With something like Nizastra's Devotion, among all the other impacts we have in the game, but Kuiper Mine, so if you're just farming for like gold or the shards, you might as well hit this mine as well so you can get a decent frozen tech reactor. So that is up for grabs this week as well. Most likely you will be bossing with the S's, so you'll go with skill crit damage as well as damage to Colossus. Pretty general things there. Most reactors nowadays, if you're not farming and you're doing bossing, is crit damage, damage to Colossus. And lastly on our list for the week at the observatory, we do have a chill reactor on high powers. It is on tech, not singular, but you still have the opportunity if you need some blue brains, you could do the Order's Veil. So kind of get a twofer here, and you can still get a Hailey Reactor on that power mounting slot in the meantime. Still need a decent one this week, so that is here. I would say not too much of a stacked week. Kind of as I'm looking back now, there's also, we have the Moongrave Bassin, chill on special rounds tech. So for Viesa, show you guys here, we have the water cooling recording device mission. This is that one you manipulate, have the enemy stand on the point and just mob out. So you can get a nice Greg's this week, or if you want to do Secret Garden or Clairvoyance. That's really the main things in terms of how efficient you can farm it, as much mobs as you can clear within that mission for those reactor drops. Okay, that instantly takes this week up by a lot. This instantly takes this week up by a lot. Abandoned Zone, non-attribute, high power, singular. So my Glaze can go all over to Environment, Contamination Zone, the Echo Swamp. For your beautiful Executor role. Or something like crit damage, damage to Colossus should do you well. Or damage to Colossus cooldown. And if you guys have been keeping up with the theories, remember I think the last time we were over here, it was general rounds, so you were getting that Python reactor here. But we didn't have Ultimate Bunny at the time. How quick that was. As I always do, encourage you guys to kind of check these out for yourself. Kind of gave you guys some of my best things that I'll be looking to farm this week. But we've definitely had better weeks. The last 2 weeks were definitely better than this week, I'd have to say. Quick wrap up, the notable things to take an account of is this Misty Woods one for your Bunny reactor on general round singular if you still do not have that role, as this is a very, very efficient mission, the Hazy Swamp. I would spend a lot of time doing that one if you still don't have that desired reactor. That's one on the list. And then we have non-attribute general rounds dimension over in the ruins. That's number 2. And recap, ruins courtyard be that best mission there. So you want to really exterminate as much things as possible in the quickest clear time, and this one allows you to do that, as opposed to the underground entrance. There's not the same amount of mobs to destroy there. And then we have a third one for you guys over in the Muskeg Swamp. We have the chill special round singular for those Hailey builds. You want to get that Greg's. Now's the week to do so at the Tree of Truth mission over in the Echo Swamp, Muskeg Swamp. That was this week's Slaying Loot Farms. Hope to see you next week. And this one will run from the 24th all the way until the 1st of October. So you do have some time to kind of get in on these farms, flesh out the rest of your builds regarding those reactors. If you guys found anything helpful, make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, follow us on TikTok if you're watching here. We'll see you guys soon. And remember to slay and conquer.